Hey guys, Willie James here from DreamHouse Musiq, and in today's video we're going to talk about the 251 in C major. I'm just going to go through quickly my different approaches, how to extend the chords, going from basic to fairly intermediate, some things I like to do, and some quick song examples, okay? So we're going to jump right in, but before we do, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Click the link below for more resources, yeah, so let's get into it. 251. So we're gonna do it in C. C is the easiest key to learn in. We do the number system when learning gospel. So C is 1 all the way up. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 1 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, as we talked about before, songs are made of progression. So we're talking about the 251 progression. What does that mean? The 2 in the C major scale is D, the 5 is G, and the C is 1. Okay, and usually you do this progression to support all kinds of melodies. Okay, usually the 251 is used as an approach to get, well, to the one chord, right? So if you're ending a song, you're doing an amen. Amen. That's a 251. Okay, or you could do a song like I need you. You are important. I need you to survive. That's a 251. I need you to survive. Right? Any kind of ending where you're going to the one chord, you usually do a 251. Okay, so let's go through my approach. So you got to know the basics first. Let's start with the basics. Simple diatonic 3-note chord. So the 2 is D, so that means the 2 chord would be a D minor. Simple. 2. The 5 chord would be a basic G. Back to the 1. Okay, as a beginner, you need to know your inversions. So, because inversions support, like when you have different melodies, okay? You don't want to be stuck just playing in root inversions. So first inversion on the D minor would be this. Okay? All right? And then, what's the easiest inversion to get on the G? Well, it'll probably be this one. What inversion is this? Well, it's the second inversion. 1, 2, 3. Second inversion G. It flows nicely. 2, 5, 1. Okay, and you experiment with your inversions, right? You could do the second inversion, right, to the root inversion on the 5. So it's the 2, 5, and then what's the easiest place to go? You can either go to C second inversion or C first inversion, right? You can also do extended chords. Extended chords meaning you're just not extended chords. I mean chord stacking. Sorry, you're just repeating the notes. So if I have the diatonic 2 chord, I just repeat the D, right, and that falls nicely into this G chord here, right? I need you to survive. Amen. How great is our God, right? 2, 5, 1. Okay, supports all kind of melodies, right? So we talked about inversions, we talked about stacking. Let's talk about 7th chords, all right, which is chord extensions. So as a beginner, you need to know your 7th chord. So let's go back to the basic diatonic 3 chord. Let's turn this into a 7th chord. We're gonna add the C. Why is the 7th chord the C? 7 steps from D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C is 7 steps from D, so it's a D minor 7th. And I repeat the 1 and the 5, or the D and the A in my left hand, like so. So I got a 2, and then I'm gonna go to a G7th. Right? That G7th is in what? That's in second inversion, right? This is root inversion, first inversion, second inversion, right? So the root D minor chord, the 2 chord, falls nicely into the G. See, because the A and the F here fall nicely into G and the F. Right? So you got to see that movement. The F and the AFC, right, falls to FAC, This is the root here. That doesn't change because the D is common to the D minor and the G chord. So that doesn't change. So 2, 5. Well, what is this chord? It's just the G. Let me play it lower. It's the G 7th. Just in not first inversion, but sorry, yeah, second inversion. Okay. Alright, so I need you to survive. Amen. That falls nicely into. So you got to know your inversions extensively so that when you're flowing through your chords, they flow nicely. They're not detached. If I played it detached, it would be like this. The 7th chord detached. Right, back to the 1. Right? But you want to play the inversions together that flow. So if I do a root 2 chord 7, sorry, D minor 7, which is a 2 chord 7, 2 minor 7th, right? It falls nicely into this inversion, not this inversion. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So I'm always looking for what's the smoothest way to flow through the inversions. All right, and it depends on the melody of the song. So there's some experimenting you have to do. All right. So next we got to talk about using dominant chords. Okay, so in this example where we did the 2 minor 7th, okay, we could turn this one into a dominant chord. All we got to do is raise the 3rd. That's all. This is D7. It's a D7 because the C is flattened, because the original in the key of D major, the scale, the 7th chord naturally is a C sharp. So when we flatten it, it turns from a D major 7th to a D7th. Okay? Right? So you take the 2 chord, sharpen it, add the 7th, D7. Alright? With the minor 7, the 2 minor 7th, with the F, it's a different sound. So it depends on what you're looking for. But the gospel style, usually the dominant gives a more gospel flavor. Right? What did I do there? I just isolated, right? The 3 and the 7th, like so. So F sharp and the C, I just isolate it. You find that common in gospel styles where they use a 2. Because why does it sound good? Because that 3 in the D is falling to the F, which is a 7th in the G chord. So the 3 on the 2 chord, the 3 being F sharp, 1, 2, 3, falls to the 7. 3 falls to the 7 of the G chord. Why is this a 7? Because in the context of G, F is 7 from G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the G7 chord. That's where that F is. So you have to you really have to understand your chords in full order and then your inversions so that it becomes easier to see how things flow. So you should know, hey, if I'm playing this, the full chord is this. But I'm just isolating the F sharp, the C, and the D, and it just flows. Right? So for example, remember we're in the context of using dominant chords, right? You know, I need you. Da, 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 da. I need you to survive. There's a lick at the end. Da, 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 da. So what he's doing is he's just taking the chord and breaking it up into a melody, right? Dee, 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 dee. See this melody? Well, what is this chord? Well, in root position, it's a D9, okay? D7, D9, because the E, right? Chords are built in thirds, C, D, E. will give us the 9, which is the E, right? Alright, falls nicely. So dominant chords, when you do the 2-5-1s in dominant form, sounds really gospel-y, if that's a word. Another thing I like to do is what's called, no. Give me the right word. Okay. One thing I really like to do is this. Now pay attention. This is kind of intermediate, maybe a beginner advanced or early advanced, right? So on the 2, what I'll do, I'll play a 3 chord in major form. What does that mean? 3 chord. Well, the 3 chord in C major, if I go to my chart here, is a E minor naturally, EGB. That's a 3 chord. You should know your diatonic chords. 3 chord is E minor, but I turn it into a major, and I turn it into a slash chord. So I play a 3 major chord, which means E major over D, right? And then on the 5, I go to I'll just play a semitone up, like so. So that's a 2, 5. So this chord, I know it looks fancy. All it is an E major chord over D. Or in gospel terms, to make it easier, this is a 3 major, because the diatonic is E minor. 3 chord is E minor, 3 major over the 2, which is D, into the what I call the 4 over 5 chord. It's a 4 chord, which is F major in the key of C, over the bass note, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5, 1. So those are some substitute nice chords you could do. And with this 3 major, I like to extend it and make it bigger. So I'll repeat the B here. 2, 5, 1. Right? And that's my fancy C chord. One of my favorite ways to play C major, the basic C major. I do the add 9, put the C up here, and do a stretch 10. Stretch 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, with the 5. So you get this. I need you to, sounds kind of dissonant. I need you to survive. Amen. Or how great is our God? 2, 5, 1. Right? And you could do different inversions, right? I'm staying here because this is one of my favorite 2 chords, right? And look, I'll do a stretch 10 on the D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'll do the F sharp. Okay? Remember, this is the dominant, right? The 2 chord is minor, but we do dominance, which means sharpen the 3rd to make it a major, add the 7th, right? But I'll just remove the D down here. Remember, I'm on the 2 chord, then I do that 3 major, so you get that nice big chord. It's very juicy. Or I'll play it like this. You could watch my fingers on the keyboard. I'm playing the F sharp here, the G, B, E, G. Okay. How did I break that down? Don't forget, it's simply the D7 with just the 1 and the 3. The full D7 is this. I'm just isolating these 2 on the 2. Bring the D an octave lower, so I have the F sharp there. Then I play my 3 major in well, that's second inversion. This is E major in second inversion, and it falls nicely into the 4 over 5, which is, and then, right, this is just an F chord, basic F chord, 4 chord diatonic in this key of C. F is the 4 chord over the G, so that you can break it up too, like that. Okay, very sweet, very nice. And then you just play with your inversions. You could turn it into a melody too, right? So I'm playing through the chord. I'm playing the D7 It's the dominant 7 without the A. Okay, right? So those are some of my easy, favorite, nice ways to play the 2-5-1s. I'll probably do more in different keys as we go along just to give you some ideas. So hopefully that helped. Want to learn how to play even more gospel chords without theory overwhelm? Simply download the Top 7 Beginner Gospel Chords PDF by clicking the link in the description. You'll learn about the top 7 must-know gospel chords and how to use them in gospel songs you already know. Again, to get access, hit that link below, and I'll see you on the inside.